men brandishing AK-47s. The escort party had arrived. I grasped my wife's hand. If things were about to go very wrong, we would know in the next few moments. All day we had followed curt directions texted from al-Awlaki, as if they were clues in some bizarre treasure hunt. Take this road, turn left, pretend to the police that you are going to Mukalla, along the coast. I could hardly blend in with the locals. As a heavy-set Dane with a shock of ginger hair and a long beard, I might as well have been an alien life form in a country of wiry, dark-skinned Arabs. In a land where kidnapping and tribal rivalries, trigger-happy police, and militant jihadis made traveling an unpredictable venture, the sight of someone like me, with a petite Yemeni woman at my side, crammed into a hired car heading towards the rebellious south was, to say the least, an unusual one. The day had started well enough. The morning cool, before the intense heat took hold, was invigorating. There had been a hold-up at the first checkpoint outside Sana'a, always the most troublesome. Why would anyone want to leave the relative security of the capital for the badlands of the south? I chatted in Arabic, which always impressed my inquisitors, while my wife, her face and hair covered in the black niqab, sat mutely in the passenger seat. It was no accident that a CD in the car was playing verses from the Quran. I told them we were going to see my wife's brother and join a wedding party on the coast and would be traveling via Aden, Yemen's main port on the Arabian Sea and the hub of commercial life. The police at the roadblock had difficulty deciphering my passport. Few of them were likely to read Arabic well, let alone be able to understand the Roman alphabet. They seemed to think I was Turkish, perhaps because the very idea of a European traveling across Yemen was so unfathomable. My broad smile and apparent ease with my surroundings were enough for them. It probably helped that it was not only September, a scorching month in Arabia, but also the middle of Ramadan. The men were tired from fasting. Once we were clear of that first checkpoint, the challenge was to stay on the road, or at least to prevent others from driving us off it. Several times I caught a glimpse down sheer cliffs of the rusting carcass of a truck or bus. Roads in Yemen seem to attract pedestrians with a death wish, whether camels, dogs, cows, or kids. As vehicles hurtled towards them, they would wander into the middle. The colors of the morning gave way to the white heat of the mid-afternoon, and I struggled to stay focused on the road and on the risks of our journey. At last the mountains began to give way to the coastal lowlands, the Tehama. In the distance lay the port of Aden. The city had suffered since the collapse of South Yemen and the ruthless military campaign of the North's president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, to unify the two halves of Yemen in the 1990s. The people of the South saw themselves as neglected. A separatist movement was gaining strength, compounding the challenge to the Yemeni government from al-Qaeda militants. In my rearview mirror, the mountains were swallowing the glowering sun. I tried to navigate my way around Aden's chaotic fringe to join the long coastal road that I had been instructed to take by another of al-Awlaki's text messages. Anwar al-Awlaki was from a powerful clan in the mountainous Shabwa province. His father had been a respected academic and a minister in Yemen's government who had gone to America on a Fulbright fellowship and had a Ph.D. from the University of Nebraska. The younger al-Awlaki had himself been a university lecturer in Sana'a after abandoning the United States in the wake of 9/11, worried, with justification, he was being targeted by the FBI. He had met two of the hijackers in California months before the attack, though there was no evidence that he knew their plans. 7 years on, the landscape and al-Awlaki had changed. President Saleh was ever more desperate for U.S. aid and was under growing pressure to take a harder line against al-Qaeda sympathizers. There had already been a suicide bomb attack on the U.S. Embassy in September 2008, which killed 10, and mass breakouts of al-Qaeda inmates from supposedly top security prisons. Yemen was al-Qaeda's favorite recruiting ground. It had provided a pipeline of young men with little education who were dispatched to Osama bin Laden's training camps before 9/11. Some of them had become bin Laden's bodyguards before being caught escaping.